Thank you, friends. Special greetings to you all. Well, welcome to fall. It is equinox time, one of the 4 special days in the year, and the signal that the new year is upon us. Not just as a new year is in a chronological counting, but a new year in terms of the health and development of our being, of our spirits, of our souls. We do chronologically celebrate a new year in the Hebrew calendar, but that was the result of a more political and not a biblical timing decision. Do not forget the Torah in many parts tells us the beginning of the year, for purposes of counting months in the year, is in the spring, the month of Nisan, the equinox before Passover. Well, we're coming up on the high holy day of the first day of the 7th month, the day we call Rosh Hashanah, head of the year. And next week we will speak more about it and what you need to keep in mind to herald it in. It is an incredibly important reset date that allows you to correct the path of the year you've been on and to bring in what you need for the second half. But for now, please join me in doing our change of season celebration. Tekufat Tishrei, the autumn equinox, is all about the link between earth and heaven. And that's something to keep in mind when you enter the 10 days of awe in about a week or 10 days. Now, once again, this blessing may be recited over wine or while honoring the particular season, flowers for spring, fruit for summer, leaves for fall, pine boughs for winter. And of course, right now, in the Northeast, we would use leaves for fall. In Southern California, I guess you just look at a calendar and guess. But, it's always a nice thing to have the thing for that particular season. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ruach ha'olam, boreit isvei. Does it mean, blessed are you, embodiment of the spirit of the world, who creates fragrant plants. And remember, friends, Judaism in all its prayers is based on intentions. And so we have to think about our intentions for the seasonal transition. Kavanot letekufot. And for the fall equinox, it is, may it be your will, that it be a year of rain and dew, a year of favor, a year of blessing, and a year of abundance for everyone, everywhere. And in help welcoming the change of season, let's make sure we send out healing and goodwill and renewal out to Mira, to the world, and we hope everyone everywhere gets the healing they need, feels the energy they need to feel, feels the love. And so for all in need of healing, remember, energy and spirit, they do know no boundaries. Me. Shabera. Evotenu. Makor ha-bracha. Vimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. Mishaberach, let us all have our spirits renewed as we come upon a period of renewal for everyone everywhere, because that is what the high holy days are all about, as are the changes in seasons. Now, for those keeping track, last week was when you go out, and this week is ki tavo, when you come in. Allah, hello, goodbye. And again, this week we also have a misleading title, because this is really the summary of the 12 curses and the blessings that we talked about earlier. We read an incredible list of 12 curses. Some would say we are suffering from to this very day. It's extremely threatening, extremely dark, and it points to a Levitical cabal pushing fear and terror as a means of control. The lesson of love had somehow been lost, and maybe we're still fighting to regain it. It is a list you wouldn't wish upon your worst enemy. And there's some fascinating existing commentaries on this concept of blessings and curses. And as you read the Torah, you begin to notice from the words, from the sentiments, from the language even, which source and which time frame it may very well be from. In fact, studies have found similar wording as to what you read here, used in a Syrian treatise of the 7th century before the Common Era, which is about the time that this book of Deuteronomy, was found. You will also notice at 4 times more space is devoted to the curses than to the blessings. And they're described as a palpable thing, as being in pursuit of you. They will overtake you. They will catch you. You cannot outrun them. Now, what's not obvious, but noticeable, is the chief function of the entire verbal enactment of this amazing formality of blessings and curses is admonition. And so it's not surprising that a long catalog of blood-curdling catastrophes far outweighs the list of happier events. Now, also notice that this parsha probably actually marks the actual sealing of the covenant between God and man. Each has stated and agreed to the terms. The people will obey all the laws of God, and God will bless them if they do. Now, I know it sounds simple, but I'm not sure if anyone read the fine print. It has been debated for centuries. Did this mean everyone was to obey everything? Well, if so, oops. Now, I always tell you to look for alternative ways to interpret things. So a positive alternative purpose of the blessings and curses is people need to realize what is being put in their hands is life and good and love. And those are three tremendous things to aspire to have. And friends, what is really fantastic about this parsha is we see the first actual piece of liturgy of the religion. That is a prayer each person was to recite. Think about it. This is not someone creating prayers after the fact and taking parts of a holy book to incorporate. This is actual prayer instruction that has been unchanged for at least 2,800 years. Deuteronomy 26:5. And you shall speak out and say before the Lord your God, my father was a perishing Aramean. So he went down to Egypt, resided there with few persons, and became a big, powerful, and numerous nation there. And the Egyptians were bad to us and degraded us and imposed hard work on us. And we cried out to he who causes being, our father's God. And he listened to our voice, saw our degradation, our troubles, and our oppression. And he brought us out from Egypt with a strong hand and an outstretched arm, and with great fear, with signs and with wonders. And he brought us to this place and gave us this land, a land flowing with milk and honey. And now here, I've brought the first of the fruit of the land that you've given me, God. So it's for the farmer as he brings his first fruits to make a sacrifice to God. Now, the Aramean about to perish is either Abraham or Jacob, historically both of whom were in Egypt in famine times. Therefore, in an agrarian society, because this is what we have, Israel was an agrarian society, the farmer, as he brings to the sanctuary specimens of the first yield of his crop, recalls how his forefathers were close to dying from famine and were obliged to go down to Egypt, where in due course they were enslaved. Now, friends, this liturgy shifts the ritual of first fruits from an agricultural cycle and sacrifice to a retelling of history on an ongoing basis. Now, how many other rituals and holy days are based on reenactments from history? See, this prayer is unique. Other prayers which came from the Torah, like the Shema and the Birkat Hamazon, the grace after meals, came later using wording from Devarim, Deuteronomy, the book of words. But this was actual instruction. Make no mistake, this is the first full-fledged liturgy in the Torah to be recited by each Israelite farmer, and to see real instructed prayer is fascinating. Now, what is prayer? Now, I can give you its textbook definition as an invocation seeking to establish rapport with an object of worship through deliberate communication. Or I can tell you it's you talking to your higher self, or whatever, and demonstrating faith that something, somewhere, knows what you are saying and is paying attention. Now, friends, we actually pray all the time. Even those of us with little or no faith. We may demonstrate no faith, but in our heart of hearts, we still ask, we still entreat, we still communicate, and that puts in motion intent. We talked a lot about intent. We're going to continue to talk about intent. And that's a great thing to know as you come up on the season of review that Rosh Hashanah heralds. It's not about Happy New Year. It's about a season of review. And we're going to talk a lot more about that next week. And don't forget, we will be doing our Rosh Hashanah service, and we'll post that too. I believe in you when winter turns to summer. I believe in you when white turns to black. I believe in you even though I be outnumbered. Oh, though the earth may shake me, though my friends forsake me, even that couldn't make me go back. I believe in you. We all believe in something, and friends, I do believe in you. Now, I was at my other office the other day, and I was having a fantastic discussion with Mira and Kobe. And it was about prayer and meditation and intention. And all those things you've all heard me talk about, and which I actually am talking about today. And Kobe was off being fairly mindful. And Mira asked why things have drifted so much from spirit to dogma. She understood spirit, but had a real hard time with dogma. Hey, who doesn't? She wondered why we don't put more practice into what we think, since thoughts are things and set in motion a series of events, a chain of causes and effects. And she wondered about why we can't simply be accepted for who we are at any given time. Now, these are all great questions, all of which are asked and answered at this time of the year. And the Parsha ends, friends, with a fascinating statement, Deuteronomy 29:8. And you shall observe the words of this covenant and do them, so that you'll understand all that you'll do. Now, the key word there was understand. A reminder, the circle is unbroken. The words of the beginning of the Torah return in the Torah's closing portion. In the Garden of Eden, which we will read about in a few weeks, the woman is attracted to the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and bad because it will bring about understanding. Hashkia. Humans acquire that ability, understanding, when they eat the forbidden fruit. The word does not occur again in the Torah until here. So it's at the beginning and it is at the end. Well, let us each seek the ability to understand. Then we can appreciate and accept everybody on any given day. Let's make this a goal of our 10 days of review so that we can alter, improve, and change our spiritual outlook and growth. And it's not about being understood. It's about us having the ability to understand. We want to be proactive, not reactive. Well, the world is sacred. So is everything in it. Express your gratitude. Light a candle, make a wish. Celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free. Be free. Honor your freedom. Be well, be happy, be blessed. Share and honor the light. All who live in the light continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone. And into terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we are a community. We learn together. We celebrate each other. We love each other. We share this ride together, men and women equally. Let us send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, and good healing to all who need it. And please do learn to forgive, learn to love, open your hearts, and honor the relationships of your life. Tell those you love that you love them. Take advantage of the time you have. Enjoy the journey. We take the twists and turns and the patterns that weave through the fabric of our lives in our effort to grow, to learn to be, to love. So please do love. Send healing, goodwill, and love to all who need it. Share your holiness. Now bless you all. Have a fantastic week, a week of love and light, a week of peace, a week of healing for you to honor the people of your life. Honor the journey you're on. Friends, honor yourselves. Keep your eyes open to what you may not be seeing. Keep your ears open and listen to the world around you. Remember, this is an organic book. The lessons, the laws, the ethics, the ritual changes with the times. It is how it stays current, relevant, new, meaningful, and continues to provide us after all this time with insight and with answers. And with this time of the year, leading into the period of personal review, we are supposed to think just a little bit more about who we are, what we are, why we are. And in doing so, you may notice the world seems just a little more broken than usual, but that can be changed. That can be fixed. It starts within. Broken clock on a broken wall. Broken voices in a broken hall. Broken beginnings, broken ends. Streets are filled with broken friends. Take a deep breath, baby, feel like you're choking. Tell me the truth now, where everything is broken. Everything's broken, but everything can be fixed. Well, I hope you join us for the High Holy Days, or at least supplement your usual spiritual connection with our brief exploration. Do not stop your journey. Do not stop moving towards your promised land. It is in sight. Keep on dreaming, keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching, keep spreading your holiness. Do not follow fear. Thank you all for joining me, for participating, for sharing your lives, your love, your time with me. I do so appreciate it. I love you all. Look forward to seeing you all next week. Be well. Until then, Shabbat Shalom.